हम classes के kinds को पढ़ने जा रहे हैं. Among those types of classes, we have the declarative clause. As I told you before as well that clauses can be sentences, so we can call this as the declarative sentence as well. Declarative clause or declarative sentence is a sentence in which we declare a statement or in which we give a statement. Declarative sentence या declarative clause वो clause होता है जिसमें subject और predicate दोनों होते हैं और वो खुद ब खुद meaning दे देते हैं और जिसमें हम statement दे देते हैं. Now, for example, I say now the very first characteristic of this sentence or this clause is that we divide this into subject and the predicate, and they give complete meaning. The declarative clause is a clause in which we give the statement. For example, the first characteristic of the declarative clause is that we give statement. Now, I would love to give an example. This is my car, for example. I am delivering the lecture. I am sitting. She is my sister. Or the examination was very tough, for example. These all sentences are declaring a particular kind of statements. ये जो sentences मैंने आप लोगों के सामने रख दिए, ये सारे वो sentences हैं जिसमें हम लोग statements देते हैं, बयान दे देते हैं. I would like to write down a sentence on the whiteboard. For example, this is my car. For example, this is my car. अगर हम class की बात करें, class में हम लोगों ने ये कहा था कि class is a combination of subject plus predicate, and the very element of predicate is verb. So subject plus predicate is equal to a clause. और अगर वो complete meaning दे दे, subject plus predicate, अगर वो complete meaning दे दे, that's called independent clause. और independent clauses में हमारे पास 4-5 अक़साम हैं, तो हम उन kinds को discuss करने जा रहे हैं. For example, if you focus on this now, this is called a declarative clause or declarative sentence. Why do we call it as declarative clause or declarative sentence? Because we give a statement. We give a statement. Now, this is a statement. Statement हम इस sentence में दे देते हैं. Statement कभी कभार positive. For example, I would like to write down here positive or negative. Positive हमेशा a statement or the declaration, for example, can be positive or negative. So suppose if you focus on the sentence, it's clause because we are having the subject, and the rest of this the sentence apart from subject is called predicate, और हम लोग इसको clause कहते हैं चूंकि ये complete meaning दे रहा है. Because it is not dependent upon another clause, that's why we call it as independent clause or the principal clause or the main clause as well. मुख्तलिफ नाम है dependent clause के, independent clause के. That can also be called as principal clause or the main clause. So this is called the subject, for example, and this is called the subject. The rest of the sentence is called the predicate. Predicate जो subject को छोड़ के जो भी sentence का part है उसको हम लोग predicate का नाम देते हैं. Now we say that this is called a declarative clause and it's an independent clause. So we give a statement. This is my car. मैं एक बयान जारी कर रहा हूँ, मैं एक बयान दे रहा हूँ, मैं एक किसी चीज़ को declare कर रहा हूँ कि ये मेरी गाड़ी है. So मैंने declare कर लिया. अब ये positive है. For example, it can be positive. This is called positive. Declarative clauses can also be negative, for example, negative. Now, if you write down here, this is not my car, that's called negative declarative clause. So, declarative clause is a clause which does not depend upon another clause and which can declare a statement. That's called declarative clause. And declarative clause can be positive or negative. And the last thing what I would like to write down here is we use full stop at the end of these clauses, for example. फुल स्टॉप। अब हमने क्या करना है, पॉजिटिव सेंटेंसेस या पॉजिटिव क्लॉजेस या नेगेटिव सेंटेंसेस या नेगेटिव क्लॉजेस के आखिर में हमने क्या करना है, हमने फुल स्टॉप लगाना है। हमने सेंटेंस को ऐसे ही नहीं छोड़ना है, बिकॉज दैट इज punctuatively wrong, that is grammatically wrong. So one thing you have to keep in mind inter alia among the other things is that you have to put a full stop at the end of the declarative clause. For example, I say that the exam last week was too tough, for example. आखिर में मैंने फुल स्टॉप लगा दिया। Now this is called clause. एक चीज हमने ये क्लियर करनी है कि ये clause है, because why do we call it as a clause? Because क्योंकि यहाँ पे subject भी है। For example, we have the subject, for example, and the rest of the sentence is called the predicate. ठीक है, तो ये क्लास बन गया। अब हम जो दूसरी बात मैं आप लोगों को कहने जा रहा हूं वो ये है कि इसको कहते हैं इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास। इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास ये इसलिए है क्योंकि ये खुद ब खुद मीनिंग दे रहा है, सब्जेक्ट और प्रेडिकेट भी दोनों मौजूद है और ये खुद ब खुद मीनिंग दे रहा है। तीसरी बात ये है कि ये डिक्लेरेटिव क्लास है। क्यों डिक्लेरेटिव क्लास है? बिकॉज वी आर डिक्लेयरिंग अ स्टेटमेंट, हम एक स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं और वो स्टेटमेंट पॉजिटिव में आ रहा है। And the next thing is called that we have to use the full stop at the end of the sentence. So that's called the declarative clause. एक चीज जो पैटर्न है, सेंटेंस पैटर्न, इसका ये है कि for example we have to use the subject plus verb, that's called plus object or the complement. ठीक है, that's called the basic pattern of the declarative clause. Declarative clause में सबसे पहला, this is very much important as well to notice, because सबसे पहले आपने subject लगाना है। यहाँ पे हमारे पास subject है। The next thing is called was is the helping verb, and the rest of the sentence is object or either object or complement. So we call it as the declarative clause. Once again I'm repeating, मैं इसको repeat कर रहा हूँ। Declarative clause वो clause है जिसमें subject और predicate दोनों मौजूद होते हैं, जो एक statement जारी करते हैं, जिसके आखिर में full stop लगाया जाता है, और आखिर में एक clause जो दूसरे clause पे dependent ना हो, जिसमें हम बयान जारी करें, that's called declarative clause.